Weak leadership. Chris Lowney in that book talked about the Jesuits in China, how Matteo Ricci and his companions were able to introduce Western culture to China through a spirit of innovation and openness. Dr. Rosita Leong read that book and was very inspired. Her husband is Ricardo Leong, who is an Ateneo alumnus. So then they had the idea of setting up some kind of center in the Philippines where we can train young Filipinos, especially Ateneans, to understand China. That is how the idea of establishing a center came about. For the longest time, we have a public event, the Spring Film Festival, which is a way to promote Chinese culture and language by way of a popular medium, and that's films. It's a soft way of learning about a country's language and culture. And to keep that going for 10 years, I think is really quite an accomplishment. We need to understand China in a better way and in a deeper way. And that's why it's important to do it in the academe. There's support for conferences, for research, for scholarships, and that's what the Leong Center is trying to do on different levels.
At the time, I think Celadon was a bit of a crossroads. So it was always known as the PhilChi org. It was sort of trying to grow out of that. And remember, around 1997, these were times when kidnapping was an issue, the big PhilChi issue of that decade. But still, people are saying, trying to fit in. We don't really think there's a gap. We think it's really shrinking to the point that you don't notice it anymore. People still made the joke, yeah, your parents will force you to join this org so you can find a way. It was a smaller org, meaning it just didn't have the number of activities that you have now. You have much more people, much more projects right now.
If you were to describe Celadon in one word, what would it be?
Home.
A home. A home within a home within a home.
Everyone here is so nice. Like, all of you guys, you just want to see each other win. It's a real team effort. It's beautiful. Here in Celadon, it feels like everything is so personal to the people that are running the projects.
Celadon gave me the stepping stone to become a bigger person, to become more kind to people, to become more open. At the same time, it trained me to become more of a leader. I learned to become more sociable and more accepting of the different people that we meet. Because every year we meet new members, we meet new people.
For the past 5 years, I've saw members, their reason gets deeper and deeper. When I was a fresh, I joined because I had friends from the upper brackets. But now, I think you kind of see a deeper reason now. Parang, because I saw this project last year. I really wanted to learn about Chinese-Filipino culture. Ganun.
I wish that Celadon just continues to grow, man. We're a big community, and I just want all of us to keep growing, to keep falling in love with what we do, and more people get to see the beauty that comes with being a Celadonian.
Yeah, what I really just wish for the org is that the values that make up the core part of our identity always stays there. that no matter what we do, how much we scale, how much we grow, we still remember how important it is that values that are central to the org, people-oriented values that don't emphasize over the years. They don't get tossed to the side.
I think it's very important. Like I spent a lot of my time outside the classroom with Celadon, right? And I think that's still true for all of you. It's definitely a key part of the Ateneo experience for all of us. Right now, social media is at a point where something that happens with, say, Ateneo or UP gets reported nationally, especially now where, say, political statements, all the orgs, not just Celadon, get together. So you can do a lot of things.
I hope that Celadon gets to reach more people because I think that there are a lot of people out there who want to experience Chinese Filipino culture. I hope that Celadon gets to share how we celebrate the culture with them.
Astig.ph.
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 To Astig.ph.
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 Visit Astig.ph.
Got something you want to share to the world? We got you, fam! We are looking for awesome people like you who want to share content that deserve a spotlight on our site. Whether it's a list of everything you love about catos and doggos, pop culture related artworks, or even your own random photos, memes, and funny videos, we'd be happy to see it and share it to the world. Join our award-winning team and be part of our Inkpop creator community.
Hey, it's me, Guyito. Want to become a writer, artist, or photographer when you grow up? Test your creative skills with us. We're looking for kids aged 7 to 12 years old with unpublished work like articles, short stories, poems, essays, artworks, videos, and others. Join our award-winning team and be a part of our Kinderpop contributors and get your awesome work published for the entire world to see. Send in your work to pop@inquirer.net or visit facebook.com/inkpop to know more. Now let's show them how kids get it done.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the last day of our webinar series. My name is Fern Lau, your happy-go-lucky, na very bubbly, basta para kay crushy from 2 BSME. And I will be one of your hosts for today. Please meet my partner, Royce Chu.
And hello, I'm Royce Chu, your choo-choo train that's going to bring you places with the most irresistible face from 2BS Management Honors, and I will be co-hosting with Fern,
Our culture, our story.
our spring festival.
How is everyone doing today? It's really the perfect day to do this webinar because today we will be talking about the multi-perspectives of Chinese landscape painting. And to all, you artists out there, pay special attention to the different techniques.
Although this event is being held online this year, we would nonetheless like to thank all our sponsors. Thank you to all our event sponsors this year, the Ateneo de Manila University, Ateneo Celadon, Ateneo Ricardo Leong Center for Chinese Studies, Chinatown Museum, Asian Dragon Magazine, Rich Prime Global Inc., Flexo Manufacturing Corporation, Barefoot, and the Blue Hanguk Society. This event would also not be possible without our online media partners, Chinoy TV, Astig PH, SparkUp, and The Inquirer.
We would also like to thank the Loyola School's Campus Events Management Team and Chinatown Museum for making the simultaneous live streaming possible on Facebook and YouTube. We would also like to give a special shout out to the Ateneo Ricardo Leong Center for Chinese Studies for providing numerous scholarships to applicants and making this event possible.
Thank you for also taking the time to join our event today. Our last talk entitled The Multi-Perspectives of Chinese Landscape Painting. Chinese landscape painting is not only about the skills necessary in the use and control of the four treasures, the brush, ink stick, stone, and paper, but also about imparting the artist's experience with being one with nature.
Our speaker for today is currently an assistant professor teaching Chinese language, culture, and philosophy at the Ateneo de Manila University. From her youth, she was immersed and trained in the Chinese and Western painting. In 2001, she conducted a one-woman show of her pastel, watercolor, and oil paintings at the SSS Gallery, showcasing her artworks.
Today, she has provided an insightful short documentary about the said topic, and if you have any questions or things that you want to learn further in depth about Chinese painting, feel free to leave a comment in the live stream. Without further ado, let us watch the short documentary provided to us by Professor Daisy C.
What makes a Chinese painting? Some say it is the four treasures that make Chinese painting what it really is. These four treasures are brush, ink stick, ink stone, and paper. Paper. When drawing, we use Jing paper, or better known as Xuanzi, originated from Jing Country, Xuan City of Anhui Province. The place produced high-grade paper mainly used for Chinese brass painting, calligraphy, mounting, rubbing, and watermarking. Xuan paper has good paper qualities, dampening, durability, non-deformation, and insect resistance. Note that water-resistance paper, or those coated with wax, or those having a slippery surface, are not suitable for Chinese landscape painting. Because Xuanzi or Xuan paper is absorbent and allowed ink to run, a painting on Xuan paper shows traces of the artist's brush strokes. Ink shades or color pigments are likewise distinctly seen. Thus, once the artist is able to develop the skill of controlling the water in the brush, Xuan paper has the proper permeability in spreading the liquid, neither too quick nor slow. Now, serve the brush and the ink. Brush. Brushes used in Chinese painting differ from those used in oil painting or even in watercolor painting. Chinese brushes are of different kinds: stiff fiber, soft fiber, and mixed fibers. Stiff fiber brushes, lang hao, are made up of hairs of whistle, hare, or pig. These are usually used to paint mountains and water, leaves and leaf vein, orchid and bamboo, perfect for outlining texture strokes. Soft fiber brushes, or yang hao, are made from the hairs of goat and good for shading, coloring, or even dotting. This type of brush is compatible with water-absorbent soft rice paper. Mixed fiber brush is a combination of stiff and soft fibers, which is perfect for clouds. Ink stick and ink stone. These two goes together. The ink stick is rubbed or gently ground on ink stone containing water to produce ink. How long rubbing the ink on the stone will be or will take depends on the artist's required level of color richness. A good ink stick must have the quality color pigments and binders. Whether black or color, the ink stick must have qualities that enhance elasticity and prevent corrosion fading. Any flat stone surface used to grind the ink can be the ink stone. Ink stone may be made of stone, jade stone, clay, pottery, porcelain, or metal. Some have carved design with casing and sleeve. With these four treasures, needless to say, the natural way to appreciate a Chinese painting is to appreciate the skill of the artist as exhibited in the painting, specifically how he uses and controls these techniques and tools. When it comes to landscape painting, we see yet another distinct flavor. That is the multi-perspective nature of Chinese painting. We see paintings of dreamlike mountains, layers and layers of trees, and big stone-lined mountains. Then there are paintings that focus on single subject. Artworks are a result of the artist's 1. Perception of the subject. 2. His rendition of the perception using acquired skill sets. These perceptions depend on a perception that is both the result of the physical manifestation of the subject to him and its mingling with his own realization, value sets, and philosophy. This is where the subject, as seen by the artist, enters to his consciousness, mixes with his philosophy to achieve the perspective. Imagine a child who loved drawing. She would walk around her village and stop every time she saw an interesting rock. She remained standing on her spot for some time and looked farther. She saw more. The farther she looked, the smaller the rocks were. The child continued walking until she found herself at the foot of a big rock. She tried to walk around it, but it was not possible. So she decided to climb up. As she did, her view of her surroundings also changed. The rocks she previously saw were apparently not just rocks, but rocks mixed with clouds. And the rocks, which were giant earlier, now seemed smaller. They were still big, but they seemed smaller. She felt smaller. She looked down. Everything was small. She looked at the nearest mountain and realized how small the mountains were from where she was standing now. She quickly sat on the rock and drew this new view. This was indeed a different perspective. A different perspective can usually be seen when we change our view. In her case, she found a new perspective with a change in height and distance. On her way home, she saw familiar rocks. Big rocks covered with trees and greens, but somehow they are different because the sun was setting. The rocks were showing a different side of them. Parts of the mountains were not visible because of the shadows casted from the afternoon sun. He realized she had to paint the moment, so she sat again, brought up her materials, and painted until the sun went down. By mixing realism and abstract, the painter is able to select what to show and what to hide to better tell her story. More than the tools, the brush, the ink, and the paper, it is the combination of the skill of the painter and the perspective she is drawing.
Before we proceed, we would like to give a special shout out to Kamis Hegazi for attending all of this year's special Spring Festival talks, watching all the way from Egypt.
Right. We would also like to give a shout out to our commenters in our Facebook Live. Shout out to Miss Lindsay Anyu, Mr. Mark D, and Mr. Hans Isaiah. So Mr. Hans also mentioned that there are also the 4 treasures of study, 文房四宝. So that's another nugget of information for all of you guys watching this live stream. Alright, that was incredible, Professor DCC. Thank you for that insightful documentary. Even if I'm not an artist, I feel like I can finally do art now. Don't you think how cool that the word for landscape in Chinese is made up of 2 characters, namely mountains and water. And it can also be linked to the philosophy of Taoism, which emphasizes the harmony with the natural world.
I know, right, friend? By the way, if you guys are more interested in the topic, follow the Ateneo Ricardo Leong Center Facebook page for upcoming painting classes and other cultural short courses.
Yes, that's right. You guys definitely don't want to miss this amazing opportunity.
Once again, thank you, Professor Daisy C. We hope you artists and non-artists alike learn a thing or two about Chinese landscape painting, and we hope you have enjoyed it today as well.
But wait, Royce, before you guys leave, we have a special segment prepared for all of you guys.
Oh yeah? What is that again, friend?
Well, remember the digital poster contest that was open for submissions until last week?
Yeah, I think they're currently voting through likes, reacts, comments, and shares.
Yeah, that's right. But before we let them vote, we need to let the whole world see their amazing skills and beautiful artworks, am I right?
Of course. I remember now. Today, we will present to you the artwork submissions of the participants from the digital poster making contest.
Alright, so if you guys want to support your favorite artist, please comment down there in the chat box. First up is Hali Bata, a second-year student from the Ateneo de Manila University with their artwork entitled Chinese Umbrella Dance. From its name, this art piece was inspired from the umbrella dance, a traditional folk dance performed during the joyous occasions that showcases local treasures and paper umbrellas with floral designs.
Next up is Carolyn Luzantales from Chiang Kai-shek College. Despite only being a grade 6 student, her artwork stunningly portrays the beauty of traditional performances like Chinese operas and folk dances that rely on unity of acting, music, dancing, and flow of surroundings to be able to leave lasting impressions towards audiences and spectators alike.
Moving on is Desiree Gabayran, a grade 12 student from Talon Talon National High School. The artwork that you see right now shows the depiction of Chinese opera, putting an emphasis on various vibrant colors, intricate details, and decorations that reflect the rich culture and history tied with this dramatic and symbolic field of art.
Lian Trinidad, a second-year student from the Ateneo de Manila University, chose to keep her artwork simple yet concise. Her artwork highlights the importance of Spring Festival as families and friends all welcome the beginning of the new year by watching performances of dragon dancers, opera singers, and other recreational events. Definitely a time to celebrate happiness, good luck, and love.
And here, we have a beautiful take on the disciples of the Pear Garden, which is another term for Chinese opera performers. Actors and actresses, as shown through this piece, dress vibrantly to match their colorful sceneries and to impress the audience with their realistic acting that helps bring back to the historical times. A great piece by Reinhard Aitona, a grade 12 student from the Immaculate Conception Cathedral School.
Oh look, looks like we have another one from the same school here. Next up is Alexandra Baresi, a grade 11 student, also from the Immaculate Conception Cathedral School, with her artwork entitled Glimpse in the Mist. This specializes in Peking opera, or most notably known as Beijing opera, the most popular form of Chinese opera. The poster highlights the usage of colored masks, and each symbolizing unique traits and personalities of a character within each scene. Definitely mesmerizing.
Next, we have Be the Greater Man. This poster made by Gian Terra, a grade 12 student also from the Immaculate Conception Cathedral School, showcases how Kung Fu, a general term for the Chinese martial arts, is seen as an expression of one's daily life. Along with the statement, a great man will be knocked down, but one who can stand up again is a greater one. Always choose to be the greater man. He believes that Kung Fu will continue alongside with us like a shadow, as it will be passed through to future generation as it continues to leave a mark onto the lives of people today. A very passionate expression and explanation by our young artist right here.
Next is an artwork from Crishel Romualdez, a grade 11 student from the Immaculate Conception Academy. It depicts a Chinese folk dance known as the court dance, which was adopted by the Han Dynasty's emperor.
Clarice Cho, a grade 12 student from the Chiang Kai-shek College, has made a poster that depicts the elements of the traditional Chinese dance, which is the dragon and the lion dance. Additionally, the lanterns in the poster represent joy and light as we welcome the new year, as Clarice wants to bring hope and inspiration to all of the people despite the pandemic.
Here is the poster by Antoinette Mendoza, a grade 8 student from the Immaculate Conception Academy, which highlights a headdress and a fan worn by the Chinese opera singer. I like how she portrays different meanings on her poster, especially on the headdress and the different colors on the fan. How yellow is for spring, red is for passion, and blue is for wisdom.
Wow, amazing! Royce, grabe, I didn't know that these colors have symbols as well. Well, moving on, Daisha Go, a grade 7 student from the Chiang Kai-shek College, portrays a popular Chinese dance. And this is the dragon dance, which is believed to bring all of us good luck.
This poster, made by Kayal Dionisio, a grade 8 student of the Immaculate Conception Academy, features the famous traditional Chinese dances, which is the lion and dragon dance, that we never miss during Chinese New Year's. As you can see, there are angpaos in the background, and these are given as a token of good wishes. Who doesn't love angpaos?
Oh, I love angpaos, Royce. Do you want to give me one?
Sorry, friend, but there's no budget for that.
Oh, that's so sad. But I think everyone would really love an angpao, right? From their parents or their grandparents. So moving on is this poster by Arabella Fernandez, a grade 12 student from the Claret College of Isabela. which aims to bring joy and hope to the viewers by depicting Chinese acrobatics. Just like how Chinese acrobatics entertain people during the Spring Festival, she hopes to bring entertainment to all of you through her poster.
Carolyn Cao, a grade 10 student of the Immaculate Conception Academy, wants to show the two sides of the story of a puppet show. On one side, there's a story running that the audience is watching, and on the other, the story that is not seen by the viewers, which is the deep bonding of father and daughter.
Next up is the artwork of Dion Tanyada, a grade 6 student from Chiang Kai-shek College, which depicts a Chinese opera. As Dion says, Chinese opera is a part of Chinese culture and history that we should never forget.
Next, we have a meaningful piece from Kevin Seneza, a grade 12 student from Hope Christian High School. With the goal of uniting China and the Philippines, he wishes that Filipinos can appreciate the beauty of Chinese culture through his work.
Wow, look at this naman, Royce. We have a cool poster here by Edley Cheng, a grade 7 student also from Hope Christian High School. I like how he showed the effective and efficient moves of people who do kung fu and martial arts in the poster. He makes it really more realistic.
Yeah, that's right, Fern. For the next one, we have a very poetic poster by Jillian Tang, a grade 9 student from the Immaculate Conception Academy. Matching the poetic poster, she also wrote a poetic caption that describes how traditional folk dancers are like the center of the universe when they're dancing.
Next, we have another one from the Immaculate Conception Academy, a very graceful poster by Nina Liu, a grade 10 student, that shows the Chinese ribbon dance. It's amazing how the red ribbons that the girl is throwing in the air is like a confetti that you see in celebrations.
Speaking of celebrations, this next poster by Clarice Lee, a grade 11 student also studying in the Immaculate Conception Academy, is also fitting for the New Year celebration as she features some elements of Chinese ribbon dancing. I like how her drawing bears a lotus motif, which symbolizes perseverance and rebirth that's fitting for the Spring Festival.
Wow, grabe naman, Royce. Another one from the Immaculate Conception Academy. It looks like we have 4 streaks here na. Lakas naman talaga ng mga ika. By the way, can we have some shoutouts in the comment section natin? From which school you guys are from? Pakita naman natin ang ating school pride. Anyways, Elistan, a grade 12 student, has drawn the Peony Pavilion or Mutan King for this year's Spring Festival. It is widely regarded as a Chinese version of Romeo and Juliet, and is praised for its ability to portray the complexity of humanity and the imperfect society that it creates. This classic play embodies the themes, tropes, and overall spirits of the traditional Chinese opera.
For this poster, Anne Belanicio, a grade 9 student from the Elizabeth Seton School, wanted to introduce more Chinese traditions to the young ones for them to appreciate the beauty of China at an early age. It really shows through her poster as characters she had drawn are cute and appealing to children.
This next poster is about the Lion and Dragon Dance by Patricia Chua, a grade 9 student from Quezon City Christian Academy. I like how she portrays the luck and welcoming vibe through the little fireworks that you see at some spaces in the poster.
Moving forward, we have Candy T, a grade 9 student from the Hope Christian High School. Candy also drew a poster that portrays the lion dance. Through her poster, we can see that the lion is warding off evil spirits and adding fun to the festival.
This next poster by Nicole Quejada, a freshman from the Ateneo de Manila University, calls attention to the intricate beauty of Chinese opera. I like how this piece uses different colors to symbolize and better highlight the complexity of Chinese opera.
As it could be seen from this poster, Gianna Ilot, a sophomore from UP Dalaman, is a fan of musical concerts, and instruments, especially the pipa. She got inspired doing this art form watching a performance of Chinese musical orchestra. Wow, so cool, right, Fern?
Yes, indeed, Royce. Well, moving on, we have a piece from Daniel Chu, a grade 12 student from the Immaculate Conception Academy. Her poster shows a Chinese-speaking opera member waving a ribbon, which symbolizes the Spring Festival banner. I also like the colors that she chose because these were inspired by the colors from spring festivals.
Charlene Ko is a grade 11 student from the Quezon City Christian Academy. Her poster is about the Chinese martial arts that comes in many different styles and forms and has developed throughout the centuries.
Peiyu Huang is a grade 12 student from the Philippine Cultural College. He chose the most famous Chinese dance, which is the Chinese Dragon Dance, for his poster.
A freshman in the Ateneo de Manila University, Zephanie Tan's poster is about the erhu, a Chinese orchestral instrument. The sound of the erhu can be linked to the voice of the heavens as it cases life on earth to bloom and dance to its beautiful melody. As such, it can be said that spring comes when the erhu is played.
Francine Villarez is a grade 10 student from the De La Salle Santiago Zobel. He chose a combination of martial arts in a pink, blue, and purple palette for his poster to make it look like spring. He hopes that through his poster, people will feel the blooming and joyful vibe of Spring Festival.
Next is a poster by Joanna Chua, a freshman from the Ateneo de Manila University, that portrays the Chinese ribbon dance. Through her poster, she really highlights the dance that expresses happiness and freedom of spirit that captivates its audience.
Existing ever since the 1790s, Jinanen Rosales, a grade 11 student from Chiang Kai-shek College, chose the Chinese-speaking opera for her poster. It is one of the most iconic aspects of Chinese history that symbolizes the spirit of inheriting the quintessence of China.
Last but not least is a pair work. Two freshmen from the Ateneo de Manila University, namely Catherine Chan and Cheska Hong, teamed up and chose the infamous dragon dance for their poster. They both imagined the paper dragon coming into life as it moved elegantly into the beat of the drums and the amazement of hundreds of festival goers.
Whoa, those were a lot of submissions, like a lot, and they were equally beautiful.
I know, right? It's so hard to vote which artworks are the best. I'm actually curious which artworks our audience is rooting for. Comment down below your favorite artworks and we might give a special shout out to those later.
Yeah, so comment down below in the chat box. So in the meantime, we would be giving a special shout out to all of the high schools and colleges that you guys have mentioned. So we have Holly Megadbata who shouted out for ICA, or Immaculate Conception Academy. We have Erin Herrera shouting out for St. Jude Catholic School. Robin Oo shouted out for Chiang Kai-shek College. And also, of course, we have a lot of shout out for the Ateneo. Well, speaking of voting and shoutouts, make sure to vote for your favorite artwork by liking, commenting, and sharing. But don't forget to read the voting mechanics first.
Remember, folks, voting period ends today, so make sure you voted by then.
Ring ring.
Hello? Yes, Mama Nabat. Oh, you have an announcement for the digital poster making contest? Sure, why not? Just head over here. Okay, thank you. Bye.
You heard that, folks? Mama Nabat, the director of the Ateneo Ricardo Leong Center for Chinese Studies, has an announcement.
Without further ado, let's give the floor to Mama Nabat.
Hi. On behalf of the Ateneo Ricardo Leong Center for Chinese Studies, I would like to thank each and every one of you who participated in this digital poster contest. Art in any form is therapeutic on its own, especially at this time of the pandemic, where cases of mental health are increasing day by day. To all our participants, we hope that you may realize the impact of your beautiful and colorful digital artworks. May you continue to express yourself in your respective chosen art form. Now, to show our appreciation, we decided to have the Ricardo Leong Center for Chinese Studies Choice Awards, where 2 digital artworks will be chosen by us and will receive 500 pesos each. So I wish all the participants the best of luck. God bless everyone and stay safe.
Wow, 2 more special awards. How exciting.
I wonder who Mama Nabat will choose.
Well, we'll find out on February 8, 2021. So make sure you have already liked the Spring Festival Facebook page to know the winners of the digital poster contest.
Before I forget, thank you, Mama Nabat, for that wonderful announcement. And with that, I think it's time to read some of our comments on which artworks our viewers are rooting for.
Okay, so I'm looking at the comment section below and we see some comments for Zephanie Gale Tan. So shout out to Zephanie Gale Tan from the Ateneo de Manila University. We have shout outs for Miss Holly Megan Bata, also from the Ateneo de Manila University. We also have a lot of shout outs from Joanna Chua. So Joanna Chua, congratulations to you. So a lot of people are rooting for you. So lastly, we also have Catherine Chan. So shout outs to Catherine Chan. So Royce, that sure is a lot of support and comments from our talented participants, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right, Fern. With all the hype and engagement that we're receiving, I think that the digital poster contest is a successful one.
Sadly, I think our time is up. On behalf of the Spring Festival team, though, I would like to formally close this event. Thank you for attending these equally interesting and quality talks.
Don't forget to attend the musical concert, our final live event for the Spring Festival tomorrow at 7 p.m. to see some traditional and contemporary Chinese and non-Chinese performances. I hope you have a great day ahead of you.
This has been Fern Lau, your happy-go-lucky na very bubbly basta para kay Crushy from 2 BSME.
And this is Royce Chu, your choo-choo train that's going to bring you places with the most irresistible face from 2 BS Management Honors.
Your host for this afternoon.
Your host.
Our culture, our story.
Our Spring Festival.
Congratulations.
Good job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good job, Fern and
Thank
Royce.
you.
Kind of.